Whew, what a day. What a morning. Just finished 5:30 deal here at the gym. I was thinking about it with me talking about figuring out what you want to do, and that being the most important thing. Now, if you out there that have been on this channel or on this page have been thinking, okay, well, I've known what I want to do. Okay, you know what you want to do. Awesome. Now, what's the one thing? This is probably the most important thing I would say that you would need to achieve whatever you want, right? To achieve anything you want. Now, you're going to be like, oh, that's obvious. Yeah, but usually the most obvious things is things that you don't want to do, what you need to do, right? And that is discipline, right? Discipline is definitely one of the most important things. And why is discipline so difficult? Why is being disciplined doing, we all know what we're not supposed to do. Don't eat that donut. Don't, wake up. Don't hit the snooze button. We all know what to do. And I think I've mentioned this before. I'll probably keep saying and repeating it. But Robert Greene, I love how he says we're all, in his book, Law of Human Nature, The Laws of Human Nature, he talks about how we're all, I love how he said it, we're all animals trying to be human. So what does that mean? It's basically, think about a lion or a dog or something. They're not going out there to find, better food. They're just like, oh, I'm hungry. Oh, look, a zebra. Lion, go get a zebra. It's not like, dang, you know what? Man, I need to find me some better food, man. Like, I need to find that zebra that's been working out. That zebra that's got that extra tone muscle, man. That sounds good. No, it's not doing that. And we're kind of no different. We get comfortable. We just get what we need, and that's it. So mastering discipline is basically mastering you becoming more human, if that makes sense. Because anybody can just do the limits of what your subconscious wants to do. What as a human you want to do. Now, some people you might see that are already disciplined. You're like, man, how'd they do that? Like, they get up every day, they do this, they do that. Well, they were programmed. They were programmed well at a young age. Like, for me, example, I was raised getting up early. So, getting up early is no problem to me. That's easy. So when I see other people struggle with it, I understand, like, you weren't raised with that discipline, that programming in your head at a young age. That was for me. So you can kind of evaluate yourself and be like, okay, I'm good at this. I'm good at that. I'm programmed with this and programmed with that. Like, you want to figure out what programs you want to keep and which ones you don't, which ones you need to work on, that kind of thing. So what I'm not good at, like eating habits, not great at those. Just horrible. Very bad at eating habits. So, me eating clean, me eating, on a regular basis, me eating consistently, me not just saying, oh, I want that, I'm eating it. That's difficult for me. And, there's many other things like me staying focused, like doing administrative work. Yeah. If you want me to misspell some stuff, I'm your man. But definitely something that I'm aware of, which makes me better at it because every time I'm there, I try to do better. But, if you want to learn more about discipline, you read Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership. He's got another book out, but The Dichotomy of Leadership is the name of that one. But, it's as simple. And I remember him, he was outside of a building. He just did it was kind of funny. I thought it was hilarious. He just got out doing he had a meeting or a seminar or something, and somebody asked him, hey, so, you have a great book, you have a great message, like, what do you got to do, and he's like, well, you just got to be disciplined, you got to plan, you got to get up early, and he's like, well, what if you struggle getting up early? What if it's, what do you do to get to that point? He's like, just do it. You just get up. There's no secret to this. You just do it. Most people want to find this, and this is human nature, I do this myself with certain things, but it's understanding that we're all trying to find that easy thing. That's what we're designed to do, to find the easiest, the least path of resistance and go for it. So, it's understandable that, you see something you want, and, oh man, I really need to be disciplined. I need to do this. I need to do that. Okay. So how do I get really disciplined? It's like, you do it. You retrain your mind. You constantly create that synaptic pathway of you doing this or that or whatever. So, when the Jocko Willink gets, And, I'm sure a guy like him gets, asked these questions all the time, and he's just like, you just do it. It's that simple. You just do it. But for somebody like him, if you ever, listen to his podcast or his story, I mean, he was, he kind of grew into that. He was already kind of driven, but then he honed in on that once he got in the military. He was a Navy SEAL. But it's important for you to understand where your weaknesses are. Certain weaknesses aren't that big of a deal. Depends on what you do. Just depend on what you want to do as well, what your passion is or what you're trying to go for, that kind of thing. So I mean, if being healthy isn't that big of a deal, don't worry about eating healthy, which I would say, hey, yeah, it might be a little important. But the best thing I would suggest for you guys out there, is start small. Start small. I think I mentioned this before, but if you want to get up early, Jocko Willink, I mean, dude, he's a monster. He's a beast, so he's going to tell you the extreme levels of things. And he does kind of talk about like, hey, work your way up. But at the same time, let's say you want to get up early. Like, don't just, he gets up at 4:30. Look at his Instagram. He's snapshotting 4:30 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, every single day. You don't have to go that extreme if you normally get up at like 9 or 10 or even 8. Just do an hour earlier. Just get up early. And one thing that I was able to do, something that I did, which I suggest for you guys, and you imagine, dude, you do this, you'll be amazed on how much time there is in the day. You think you don't have it at any time? Just get up early. Just get up early. You think you can't do it? When you have to do it, you end up doing it. I remember used to work 80, 90 hours a week, early 20s. And like, I mean, I look back and I'm like, man, how did I do that? I mean, I was getting barely any sleep, but I had to. I just made it happen. It wasn't like a conscious decision. I knew I had to do it. It's when you have the choice. It's when you're doing something for yourself that makes it difficult. If you have to work, you have to go to a job, you have to go, then it's like, oh, no big deal. But when it's something for you, which is kind of sad, and once again, it goes back to what Robert Greene talks about as animals trying to be human. So it's the animalistic part that's saying, stay in bed. It's all good. Oh man. And then the animalistic part as well is saying, hey, you got to get up. You got to do 80 hours, man. You got to do it. It's the same thing. But when you don't have to do it. So I felt I had to do the 8 hours. I really didn't. But, subconsciously, the way I'm wired, I'm going to pay my bills. I'm not the type who's not going to pay my bills on time. I'm the type who has to save so much, a percentage of so much. So if I'm not hitting that, I have to do something to get there. So I make it happen. So once it's like, hey, I want to start my own business. I want to do my own thing. I want to do whatever. That's when my prefrontal cortex kicks in and it's like, you don't have to do it. You only do it when you're motivated. And that's when, something like, Tony Robbins, he says, you got to turn your shoulds into musts. It's not like I should start a business. I should get up early. You need to make it a must, right? And I guess the next question would be, how do you do that? How do you do that? And it's like anything else, everybody wants the magic pill, the magic secret on how to do this. And it's really just you doing it. It's really you just pushing yourself to get there. Now, once again, having somebody there with you, a mentor, coach, or something pushing you, getting that next level is ideal. There's no, who doesn't have a mentor? Steve Jobs had a mentor. Warren Buffett had a mentor. Any of those big guys, or Richard Branson had a mentor. And, and I always say big names because a lot of people think, oh, they just made it big on their own and blah, 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 but anybody who's gone places has had a mentor of some sort. And it may not even be labeled as a mentor. It could be just somebody, like your boss or somebody who's kind of training you. They may not consider themselves mentors, but they kind of are. So that is definitely a huge part of getting that discipline up, having an accountability, or you can just call it an accountability partner, something like that. Having a family member or mom or dad or a brother, that's never worked for me. It depends on your family. You might have that perfect brother, sister, mom, dad that will be like, keep you on your game. If you do, awesome. If you don't, which I from what I've experienced and from other people, like, they don't want to push you too hard or be too mean. They don't want to be the mean person. You know what I'm saying? which is why it's important for you to surround yourself with people that, you know, are always trying to grow and progress, that kind of thing. But discipline, guys, that's the key. That's the name of the game, discipline. So my challenge to you is pick something. Don't go extreme. You don't have to go extreme. Find something that'll push you to that next level of discipline. And the most difficult one of the other things I used to do is take cold showers. I used to take cold showers, and dude, cold showers. Oh my goodness. So, at first I would kind of turn the water on warm or hot or whatever, get in, and then slowly turn it to cold. Do that for a few days. And then later, the real test, you get up, you turn that bad boy full on cold, man. Full on cold. I'm talking full on cold, son. Full on cold. You put your hand in just to test it, and then it automatically triggers the brain like, oh, hell no, I ain't want to do that mess. That's when you step in it. And then my goal was to not, it took me a while mentally to be like, okay, I got this. I guess I'm going to jump in. And it wasn't like one arm. No, it was full on. You jump in that mess. And you stayed in there till you got comfortable. And after time, cold shower ain't no thing. No thing. But that was one of the things that kind of developed discipline. And you may not see the results like immediately. You know, it's not nothing you're going to find immediate results, okay? But after time, you know, subconsciously, I could start seeing myself being able to push myself a little bit more, me being a little more disciplined, because the prefrontal cortex is the one that's analyzing all that. You know, I feel the cold water, and it's like, subconsciously, it's like, oh, don't do that mess. Prefrontal cortex, which is going to make that decision, which is going to be my discipline maker, which is going to be the thing that pushes me, is like, we're going to go in and do this. We're doing this. So it doesn't, you know, don't get me wrong. Your prefrontal cortex knows, yeah, it's just cold water I'm getting in. But at the same time, you're rewiring your brain to be like, oh, this is uncomfortable. Let me think of what I should do. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to do it. So it doesn't necessarily matter how detailed of what it is. Getting up early in the morning, eating healthy, taking a cold shower. That's why you want to do those kind of things on a regular basis. You want to get yourself, like I say constantly, a jillion times, create that synaptic pathway of you constantly, you know, rewriting what your subconscious wants to say, what your animal self wants to say, and do. Because normally it's normally what we do. Hey, I want to get crunk tonight. You just go do it. Hey, I want that Twinkie. You just go do it. You know, hey, I want the snooze button. You just do it. Hey, I really don't want to, you know, do that much more at work. I just want to do the minimum. You just do the minimum, right? But the more you start disciplining yourself and doing things that you don't want to do, I mean, like I said, all this stuff is really simple. The concepts are simple, but it is difficult to do because you're completely rewiring the concept of being a human. I mean, because, you know, I'm not saying we were monkeys before, but, you know, like I said, Robert Greene talking about we're animals trying to be human. We're animals trying to be human. Think about all the biases that we have. They're just natural, you know. It's only normal that we do this. It's understandable, but at the same time, it's no excuse. Like, you know, if I hear somebody complaining, I let them know, like, hey, you know, it's normal that you act like this, but at the same time, if you're going to complain, let's do something about it. Now, if you keep complaining, that person, I can't help. There's no way that person's going to change. I just leave it alone, you know. So complaining, if you want to complain, then you need to change. If you stop complaining, then I wouldn't care. Like, eat all you want, you know, smoke all you want. No judgment on that. I eat a lot. Hit the snooze button, do whatever, you know, have no discipline, but just don't complain. You know, if you don't complain, then it's all good. Like, do whatever you want. But the odds of that are very, very low. Most people complain. I'm not gonna lie. I complain, you know, every once in a while. And then I'm like, okay, shut up. What am I doing about this? Right? So guys, go out there, find something to do. If you don't have something to do you think that would make you more disciplined, get up an hour earlier. And what I want you to do an hour earlier is absolutely nothing. Whatever you want to do, start off with that. Just get up earlier and just stay up. I don't care what you do. If you want to, watch Netflix. I don't care. Just start out easy. Just get up early. Get up early and stay awake. And then from there, slowly start putting things into place. Do something that'll take 5 minutes of your time, and then do whatever you want. And then do something that'll take a half an hour of your time, do whatever you want. You know, read a little bit. You know, if you think you're going to fall asleep, do something physical. Everybody's different. So find your thing. You know, if it's getting up an hour early and take a cold shower, that's ideal. If you get up an hour early, take a cold shower, you're awake, the odds of you going to sleep are low. And the odds of you doing something for 5 minutes and then doing nothing else and just sitting is very low. I mean, meditate. I mean, whatever. Start out there. Start out easy. Start out easy. And then you'll realize, like, man, this really not tough. And then it just becomes a habit. It becomes you. Right? And then you'll be disciplined and you'll be a beast and you'll make it to the next level. And then, so guys, what's the most important thing? Discipline. Get out there, discipline yourself, be elite, stay beast. Take care, guys. Holla.